Praise the Lord. Hi friends, welcome you all to Namagurugulu YouTube channel. Dear friends, so this is the video concerning basic mathematics. 1 mark questions from model question paper 2, right? So in the previous video, we have dealt the 1 mark questions from model question paper 1, particularly for reduced syllabus. Okay, hope you can take this as a revision series, right? Let us not waste our time. Introduction is enough. Let's directly go on to the question number 1 of second model question paper for reduced syllabus. Okay, as I told you, we will be just dealing with 1 mark questions, right? Well friends, so the first question we have is evaluate the given determinant. Okay, so this is a 3 cross 3 determinant. You know how to expand a 3 cross 3 determinant, but make sure you don't follow the regular process. Okay, so if you follow the regular process, this becomes a very hectic work. Let us try to use any of the properties of determinants. So I'm going to use the properties. So what I'm going to do it is I'm going to use the elementary transformations. So that is, see the operations how I'm going to use. I'm going to change the second column as second column minus first column. Okay, at the same time I'm going to change this third column as third column minus second column. Okay, see what happens. You may take third column minus second column. It does not make much difference, but still it is better if you could take C3 minus C2, and C2 is changing to C2 minus C1. Okay, so what happens to determinant? Determinant is nothing but the first column there is no change. So whichever column there is no change, please write it as it is. So 441, 445, 449. Okay, right. So and this is nothing but 442 minus 441 is 1. Similarly, 46 minus 45 is 1. Similarly, 50 minus 49 is 1. Okay. Now similarly, in the same way, take C3 minus C2. 43 minus 42 is 1. 47 minus 46 is 1. 51 minus 50 is 1. Now you can see here, therefore, determinant value is 0. Why did I write 0 without any calculation? I'm going to write the reason. The reason is because C2 and C3 are identical. So you have the property for determinants. If 2 rows or 2 columns are identical, then the determinant value is 0. Now look here, without even expanding the determinant, you got the answer, particularly by using the properties. Okay, so let's write the reason. So we are done with the solution. Determinant value is 0. The reason is C2 and C3 are identical. Identical means same. Okay, so we know the property, and that will give me delta value, that is determinant value is 0. We know determinant is denoted by delta, and this much is sufficient to give you 1 mark. Okay, right. Let's go to question number 2. So the question number 2 reads like this. Find the total number of ways in which 8 different colored beads can be strung together to form a necklace. So remember, we are forming a necklace. For a necklace, it would be, we know it is a circular permutation. Okay, remember you have to arrange 8 different colored beads into a circular permutation. Okay, now you should be very careful in this case. The reason is arranging the people around the round table, it is different from colored beads, because if you take the colored beads arranging in different colors, just look at it. Now just consider this is a circular permutation. Okay, with I've just taken 4 different beads. Okay, here don't forget you have to take 8 different colored beads, but for your understanding I've just taken 4. Now if you can see here, in this case you cannot distinguish between clockwise and anti-clockwise directions. Okay, so since the clockwise and anti-clockwise are not distinguishable, so in this case, the circular permutation would be n minus 1 factorial by 2. Okay, if it is distinguishable, then it is n minus 1 factorial. Remember, the circular permutation is n minus 1 factorial if the clockwise and anti-clockwise are distinguishable. Because if you think about people sitting around the table, person A is different from person B. They are distinguishable. Okay, but here, if you take the 6 different colored beads, they are not distinguishable. So in that case, the total number of permutations, circular permutations would be n minus 1 factorial by 2. Okay, this much explanation is needed, but for examination, you can directly write the answer. Okay, just note down this point. So this is the condition I'm going to give here. Means in this case, the clockwise and anti-clockwise orders are not distinguishable. Hence, the required circular permutation is given by, remember, it is n minus 1 factorial divided by 2. Okay, so this is nothing but, what is n here? 8. So it is 8 minus 1 factorial divided by 2. Is it not? So this is nothing but, what is 8 minus 1? It is 7 factorial divided by 2. Right? You can easily calculate the values. What is 7 factorial? 5040, isn't it? So you can use your calculators. 7 factorial is 5040 divided by 2. That is nothing but, you will get 2520. So this is the total number of ways you can, the 8 different colors beads can be strung together into a necklace. Okay, remember, this is just for a reference I've given. You are supposed to take 8 different colors. Okay, right. So this question is enough. The solution, this much is enough to give you 1 mark. Okay, right. So let's go to the question number 3. So the third question is pertaining to probability. Question reads like this: what is the probability of getting a multiple of 3 when a die is thrown? Okay, now this is a very simple question. Hope everybody might have seen a die. Okay, we know die has 6 faces with 6 different numbers. What are the 6 numbers? 1 to 6, isn't it? So first, let us write the sample space. So what is the sample space of throwing a die once? We know sample space is denoted by S. It is nothing but, you may get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Okay, since it is a 1 mark question, we can directly go on to the solution. Okay, so let me take probability of multiple of 3. Okay, probability of a number multiple of 3 is nothing but, now tell me how many total number. See, it is nothing but total number of chances is 6. Okay, out of 6, what are the multiples of 3 we have? The multiples of 3 are, it should be 3 and 6, isn't it? So there are 2 chances. Probably multiple of 3 is nothing but 2 chances, which is nothing but 3 and 6. So the answer would be 2 by 6. You can cancel this further. 2 1s are and 2 3s are. That would be the answer. Is it clear? Very simple question. In case he may ask you the same question, he may ask you, what is the probability of getting a number which is a multiple of 2? So if they say probability of getting a multiple of 2, so multiple of 2, total possible chances are 6. What are the multiples of 2? Multiples of 2 means even numbers. Okay, so it is 2, 4, 6. It is nothing but 3 by 6. That is nothing but 1 by 2. Okay, and also note down probability of getting an odd number while you're throwing a die is same as probability of getting an even number. Okay, and that is same as, it will be 1 by 2. Please remember, probability of getting an odd number and probability of getting an even number, both will be 1 by 2. Because it is 3 by 6, that is nothing but 1 by 2. Okay, so this is all for additional information. Remember, this is for additional information. For your solution, this first step is enough to give you 1 mark. Okay, very simple question. Please don't miss it if they ask you in the examination. So the next question is pertaining to mathematical logic. Write the verbal form of the compound preposition. So your symbolic form is given and prepositions are separated. You have to write the verbal form. Okay, so let us write the verbal form. First you have to check it, what is the preposition given. So compound preposition is biconditional between P and Q. So biconditional means if and only if case. Remember, if and only if always comes in between. Okay, and next and are. So how do you take the verbal statement? So let's start the verbal form. So verbal form is if and only if case between P and Q. So we know that P and Q, if and only if comes in between P and Q, write P as it is, which is nothing but 3 is a real number. Okay, here you will get if and only if, because double implication between P and Q. If and only if. Okay, Q, what is Q? mathematics is easy. If and only if mathematics is easy. Okay, this is enough, finish. And remember, because this is the conjunction, and you can take and what is r? Take down r as it is. Root 2 is irrational. So this is the verbal statement of the given compound statement, which is in symbolic form. Okay, very simple one. Only thing is check what is the given compound statement. According to that, you can write the verbal statement. Okay, one thing you have to notice, if and only if always comes in between. If it is a negation, you have to change it. Since there is no negation, whatever the P, Q and R are, just maintain as it is. And also remember, every time it need not make sense. Okay, the verbal form or the verbal statement, it need not make sense. But still you don't worry about whether it is meaningful or not. Just write the statement. Okay, right. So fourth question is done. Let's go to question number 5. Moving on to question number 5, a very simple one. Find the subtriplicate ratio of 125:64. Okay, so what is the subtriplicate ratio? There are 4 types of ratio. For a given ratio A is to B, you can get a duplicate ratio or triplicate ratio or subduplicate and subtriplicate. There are 4 types. Okay, in this case he has asked you subtriplicate. So what is the form? We know it is subtriplicate means cube root of A is to B. Cube root of A is to cube root of B. Correct, Alva? So let's write it. So this is for your reference. Subtriplicate ratio is cube root of A is to cube root of B. Okay, so this is nothing but, let me simplify this. So it is cube root of, what is A? A is actually 125. Okay, is to cube root of 64. Okay, so this is nothing but, you can write it directly, but let me simplify it. We know 5 cube is 125, at the same is to 4 cube is 64. Okay, cube root and cube gets cancels. It is 5 is to, again similarly cube root and cube gets cancels. You will get 4. Therefore the required subtriplicate ratio is 5:4, and that is already done with your answer. So look here, some questions you get your answer in a within of 1 minute. Okay, within 10 or 20 seconds you can write the answer. Sometimes it may take for a minute. Okay, definitely it should not take more than a minute for 1 mark questions. Okay, so plan it properly, because mathematics, it consumes a lot of time, right? So we have done with question number 5. Let's move on. Right, so question number 6 is with respect to bill discounting for rupees 512.5 due 6 months. Okay, at 15% per annum. Find the discounted value of the bill, right? So we have a direct formula for that. Before that, let me write the data here. Face value. What is the face value here? Face value is 515.50 is nothing but 5 rupees. Okay. Now time. So time is nothing but 6 months. So 6 months is equal to half year. Okay. Usually we calculate with respect to year. Okay. And rate. So rate is nothing but 15%. So 15% is nothing but 0.15. Okay. Right. Now next, right. Now this much is enough. Let's directly write the formula. So let us write the formula. What is the formula for discounted value? Discounted value is given by F into 1 minus T into R. Okay. Therefore you can take discounted value is equal to, what is F? F is equal to 512.50. Okay. Into 1 minus T, you can take it as half, into R. What is R? It is 0.15. Okay. So this would be nothing but, you can directly write it using the calculator. Let me calculate this for you. So it is 512.5. After decimal point, 0 does not make any value. So it is 1 minus. So you can take 0.15 divided by 2. This would be 0.075. Okay, so this is nothing but 512.5. And to take, subtract this. If you subtract this with 1, you're going to get 0.075. 925. Okay, now it's a direct multiplication. 0.925 into 512.5. You will get the answer as, you can check it. You will get, it is a discount value of is rupees 474.06 approximately. Okay, so this would be the final answer for the given question. Very simple. Only thing is, with the given data, you know how to write out the data. If you can remember the formula, you can directly get the solution. Okay, right. Hope you are comfortable with this question. Let's go on to question number 7. Okay, the 7th question is pertaining to stocks and shares. The question goes like this: 10% stock is quoted at rupees 120. Find the rate of interest. Repeat, 10% stock is quoted at rupees 120. You have to find the rate of interest. Okay, now you have to note it down here. Rate of interest in this case is nothing but the yield. Okay, hope you know it. It's always better to note it down once again. So here, the rate of interest means yield. Okay, so let's write down the formula for yield and calculate it. So what is the formula for yield? We all know the value of the formula for yield is interest divided by market value, isn't it? So interest divided by market value into 100. Okay, therefore interest, what is interest? It is 10%, so it is nothing but 10 divided by market value is 120 into 100. Okay, is it clear? So you can cancel this 0 and 0. You will get 10 into 10 is nothing but 100 divided by 12. Okay, so this would be, you can use your calculator. It is nothing but 8.33%. You can take 8.33 because it is recurring decimal. Okay, and this much is enough for you to get 1 marks. This is actually the example question in your textbook. Okay, it is a textbook question, exercise question, exercise 9.1. You can find it in 2 mark question, but actually this was asked for 1 mark. I think this is sufficient to get 1 mark. Okay, right, moving on. So the question number 8 is define index of learning. So this question, you can check it in all the 4 model question papers. The 8th question is pertaining to learning index. Okay, I believe this would be a definite question. So either they ask you define index of learning, or they may ask you to write the formula for learning index. Both are actually one and the same. So it is just a straightforward formula. You cannot change anything here. So what do you mean by learning index? So learning index is nothing but, you remember, we've already done it in first paper, log of learning effect divided by log 2. A straightforward formula. Right, it's a straightforward formula. Learning index or index of learning, both are same. It is nothing but log of learning effect divided by log 2. Right, you cannot do anything with this. We cannot change further because it's just a formula. Okay, right, done with question number 8. Let's go to question number 9. So the question number 9 is of trigonometry. Find the value of 3 times sine 10 degrees minus 4 times sine cube 10 degrees. Okay, so as soon as few students look at this, they will get depressed. Because, sir, where do we get sine 10 degrees? First of all, it's not a standard angle at all. Don't get worried, dear students. It's a very simple question. We're going to use the formula. Okay, so what is the formula? We know that you might have seen this. Sine 3 theta. So sine 3 theta formula is nothing but 3 sine theta minus 4 sine cube theta. Okay, I'm going to use this formula and give you the answer within a fraction of seconds. Okay, within 10 seconds you can write the answer for this. Very simple. Okay, therefore let's consider, therefore 3 times sine 10 degrees minus 4 times sine cube 10 degrees is nothing but, according to this, it is nothing but sine 3 theta. What is theta here? 10 degrees. Okay, so this is nothing but sine 3 into 10 is nothing but 30 degrees. Now can you write it? Yes, Prajwal? Yeah. So sine 30 is nothing but 1 by 2. That is the answer. See how simple it looks like. The question may look very awkward, but the solution is very simple, provided you know the required formulas. Okay, right. We are left over with one last question. Let us discuss that also. So the 10th question is on circles. Find the equation of the point circle with center at 4, -5. Now only center is given. What about the radius? Yes, Sneha, any idea? You can see here, he has already given a hint. Point circle. What do you mean by point circle? The condition for the point circle or point circle means the radius of that circle is 0. So what is the meaning of point circle? Point circle means r is equal to 0. That means radius is equal to 0. Okay. Also, he has given h, k, which is center. Okay. What is center? 4, -5. Is it clear? So remember, so you have got the radius and you have got the center, and we know the general formula, x minus h whole square plus y minus k whole square is equal to r square. So just take the formula and substitute. So what is the formula? X minus h whole square plus y minus k whole square, that is equal to r square. Okay, right. Therefore you get x minus of h is 4, so it is x minus 4 whole square plus y, remember it is minus of -5. I am taking it directly as plus 5 whole square. Radius is 0, 0 square, or else you can directly write just 0. Using a minus b whole square, you will get a square plus b square means 4 square, that is 16, minus 2ab. 2 into x into 4 is, you will get 8x. Similarly, a plus b whole square, so it is y square. 5 square is 25 plus 2ab. So 5 2s it is 10y. This is nothing but 0. So right hand side nothing done. Let us write it in a more simplified way. Equation of the circle is x square plus y square minus 8x plus 10y, and 16 plus 25 is plus 41. This is equal to 0, and this would be my required solution. Yes, students, we have done with it. So we have solved all the 1 mark questions as a revision part in this small video. Okay, it's time to wind up. Hope you have enjoyed this small video session where we have revised the 1 mark questions from second model question paper. Okay, so kindly show your effort by giving a like button on the video, and you can also please share it with all your friends so that it may reach as much as possible to all your friends. Okay, thank you students for watching the video. We will meet again in the next question paper. Until then, take care and bye.